for a majority of the game, with the exception of probably about the last quarter, maybe quarter and a half. As we're getting ready to get started here on this one, some of the Hornets still out here taking shots. We'll get the starting lineups here for you shortly.
Your team, your school, and your community in a positive way. Participants, you are the reason everyone is here.
The loser of this will drop down and play Grable tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Casper College for the third place game. Lusk and Big Piney will square off tomorrow at noon here at the Event Center for the Consolation Championship.
Semi-final matchup.
And we got starting lineups. First of all, we're going to start out with the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies.
They come in with a record of 18-9.
18-9 on the year.
They are the Grizzlies from Rocky Mountain. Their opponents come in with a record of 17-10.
17-10 from Pine Bluff.
Hornets from Pine Bluffs.
The Pine Bluff Hornets. We'll get the starting lineups here first for the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies.
Lineups first for Rocky Mountain.
They'll start a 6'2" junior wearing number 5, John Higgins. A 5'10" senior wearing 10, Joey Joel. A 6' junior wearing number 11, Bill Despain. Wearing number 22, a 6'3" junior, Kirby Winland. And the center, a 5'10" junior wearing number 30, Cole Cannon Simmons. So Higgins, Jewell, Despain, Winland, and Simmons on the floor for the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. Now the starting lineup for the home team on your scoreboard, the Pine Bluffs High School Hornets. Number 5, Marquise Rivers, a 6' senior. A 6'8" freshman wearing number 10, Hunter Thompson.
A 5'7" sophomore,
6'2" junior wearing number 21, Scott Gross.
A 5'10" sophomore,
5'10" wearing number 23, Trent Warner.
Pine Bluffs is coached by Will Gray.
And a 5'10" sophomore wearing number 32, Harvey De La Cruz. So Rivers, Thompson, Gross, Werner, and De La Cruz on the floor for the Hornets. The Hornets in your home white with purple numbers and gold trim. And the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies in their away brown Wyoming colors.
You will see some young talent in this ball game. Thompson, a freshman, you know, has monster numbers, you know, 18 points, like 9 rebounds, something like that per game. And he can win tips.
Yeah, and he will. Actually, they'll save it in the backcourt, so it'll be Pine Bluff basketball.
In the last game, they would have been out of bounds.
De La Cruz, right side, outside. For Werner. De La Cruz. Rivers. De La Cruz looking inside for Thompson. Thompson turns, faces the basket. He won't take it. De La Cruz top of the key. It's like a 2-3 zone. De La Cruz puts the shot up. No good. Rebound down to Bill Despain. Despain quickly up the floor. Simmons will feed inside to Winland. Ball knocked around there. Out of bounds. Pine Bluff ball. The Thompson kid, he is a big kid.
As a freshman, you wonder how much better he'll get too, because even down there, that empty possession, the way he reposted was impressive.
And he's bringing the ball up here. As we saw the last game, Clutter brought the ball up, one of their taller players as well. Feed inside, Marquise Rivers.
He's a good ball player too.
Light pressure applied by Pine Bluffs, easily broken. Winland, they'll get it on down to Higgins, top of the key. Drive by Simmons, they'll kick back out to Spain. Winland. Thought about the shot, nice feed down low, they'll kick back out, kick back inside of Winland. Shot will be taken by Jewell, no good. Rebound comes down to Gross, and he'll draw the foul. Higgins, John Higgins will pick up his first.
Rocky Mountain foul number 5, John Higgins, his first, team foul number 1.
And Thompson, the big kid, bringing the ball up as they're facing, looks like a trap.
A lot of times you use the talkie just because you can look over the top of a press too.
They feed down low. Can't get it to fall. It was Gross, but they'll get the offensive board. De La Cruz loses it.
Well, they kind of played kickball in that possession.
And Simmons will bring the ball down for Rocky Mountain. Again, the winner of this will take on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs, who just downed Grable in a great contest. And Winland gets that one to fall. Kirby Winland with his first two, and we're tied up here, 5:58 left in this first quarter. Rivers will cross the timeline. De La Cruz. De La Cruz looking to set something against this Rocky Mountain defense. Rivers, he'll take the shot. No good, but there's Thompson. And he's going to be stripped and fouled. Cannon Simmons. Did you get your
Rocky Mountain foul number 30, Cannon Simmons, his first.
Pause that refreshes, man.
De La Cruz will enter the ball forward, Pine Bluffs. Looking for Thompson, they'll get it out. Werner shot, 4-3, and it's through.
Basket number 23, Trent Werner.
Trent Werner. Pine Bluffs with 5-2 advantage. Thought about the shot. Tried to feed Winland. Rivers will pick it away. Come back the other way is Werner. Werner back to Rivers. Rivers grabs it up, and it's good. Left-hander layup.
A nice unselfish fast break.
7-2 your score. 5:05 left in the first period. And a jump stop travel. You saw that coming, Joel.
Oh, the jump stop that didn't stop.
Yeah, he was losing the handle on the ball. Instead of sitting his feet, kept going.
Well, you did combine these two screens, didn't you?
I did. I had to get them close.
Are they glued together at this point, or
they might be? There's Werner. Deep three again. Trent Werner 2 for 2 from the three ball. 6 points. 8-point lead. And Rocky Mountain in trouble. They'll feed to Winland. Winland will turn face up. They'll kick it back out to Jewell. Jewell drives back to Winland. Cross-court pass over to Spain. To Spain shot. Good. Equalizer. And we're back. De La Cruz. De La Cruz will spin. Try to feed inside. Ball's going to be tipped around and taken away. To Spain. Backcourt. Simmons. And he tries to drive. He's going to be stripped. There's Thompson there with the steal. And he handles the ball pretty well for a 6'9" freshman.
Shares the same name with a longtime Rolling Stone magazine writer, Hunter Thompson.
Down low is Gross, and he'll get that one to fall.
That's pretty nice to be able to build for the next several years with a 6'9" freshman. And as he stopped growing, I don't know.
No, you're exactly right. And he fits well into his body. He handles the ball very well.
Number 32, Cole Simmons, and number 33,
as we see 32, Cole Simmons back into the contest for his first action.
I like the Rocky Mountain Marquette-style uniforms, you know, with that vertical striping.
Sort of like the old Wyoming Dennis Dembo uniforms. And there's Despain. His second three ball, he's 2 for 2 from three. Cuts that lead to 4.
Yeah, the Bill Garnett era as well.
They are closing down the AA with the renovations coming up. Wyoming will be wearing those old jerseys. Rivers drives down, can't get that right-hander to fall. But they're going to break out the old Dennis Dembo, Eric Lechner jerseys for the last home game against CSU. Corner is Coleman. He drives, try to feed inside to Winland. It's going to be kicked away, and there's Werner.
I don't know how many players have got to put in those uniforms is the problem.
Yeah. With the loss of Nance. Oh, that was huge.
I've said I've seen better benches on picnic tables.
De La Cruz directing traffic. You get over to Rivers. Rivers gets the ball screen.
And that's the point of emphasis here. The screens both, on ball or away from the ball both.
And Gross will pick up that foul. That'll be his first. Not many fouls in this first quarter. 1 foul for Gross. 2 fouls, 1 each for Higgins and Simmons.
First, team foul number 1.
Hey, I got 25.
Buchanan Simmons. Spain, he's already hit 2. Coleman will drive baseline, put up the right-hander, and he's good. 12-10 your score. 2:25 left in this first period. You know, I'm told Rocky Mountain started out really slow in this first half. Pine Bluffs came out, got a quick 8-point lead. And Rocky Mountain just I think we've settled down finally. Despain, those 2 threes by Despain has certainly helped. Simmons thought about it. They'll go over to Coleman. Back to Simmons. Despain. Coleman. Well, he's going to travel with it. Thompson, the big man, will bring it up. He'll stop. Cross court over. Werner. Almost picked off. And there's bodies on the floor, and we're going to get a block foul. Simmons will pick that one up. Cannon Simmons.
Rocky Mountain foul number 30, Cannon Simmons. His second.
That could have gone either way. So
what's really tough, though, is if that's your second foul.
Backcourt to Werner. Burren is seeing his first action of the contest, and he'll lose it out of bounds. Over Rocky Mountain ball. This place just kind of seemed to empty after that Wyoming Indian game.
Yeah, the air kind of lit out of the building a little bit. It's not a bad crowd. It's not a real loud crowd at this point.
Not a boisterous crowd, as we see both chief coaches still in attendance, trying to figure out who they're going to play tomorrow. They've seen Rocky Mountain already. Shot put up, no good. Despain will get the offensive board, put back up, no good. Thompson will fight for it, he'll pull it away. That kid must have a wingspan of about 7 feet. Warner
has yet to take a shot in this ball game, by the way.
They're not really looking for him on the
post. I think they've got to find him in that office. Which is outside his office right there, I think.
Oh, maybe not. He took the fadeaway jumper and knocks it down.
He's got a big office.
You got to have a big office for a kid that big, 6'9", and a freshman. Got 2 exciting freshmen, Bill Robinson for Wyoming Indian and the Thompson kid.
A little difference in height between the 2.
Yeah, very different. Thompson will feed over. Staker jump stops, looking for help. He'll find Thompson. Thompson will face up. They're going to work on Cole Simmons. And they're going to get him with the carry.
You know, that might have been the right call, but that's a call that could be made all day long if they really wanted to enforce it pretty much at any level of basketball.
So Rocky Mountain ball, Despain will cross the timeline. Feed on over to Coleman. Joel over to Simmons, back to Coleman. Deep corner. Drives, put up the right-hander, leaves it short, and there's Thompson with the board.
They just kind of windmilled that one as they dragged it down.
And a long shot at the end, it's no good. So at the end of one, 14-10 your score. Pine Bluffs over Rocky. As we see the Rocky Mountain cheerleaders coming out. I've always been a fan of this. These ball boys coming out with the officials. They used to come up to the coaches and they used to do that as well. They used to clean our shoes and everything else, but that's a long time ago. And again, the winner of this will take on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. The Chiefs down Grable 58-49, and what was a closer game than what the score would indicate. Grable led a majority of that game. Wyoming Indian coming back, taking their first lead halfway through the third quarter, and were able to sustain that lead and hold on for the win. Grable will drop down and play tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Casper College in the third place game. And Lusk and Big Piney will play for the consolation championship tomorrow morning. As ball's entered, Winland, he'll be back into the contest. He'll kick back out. Coleman. They'll feed right side. Coleman all alone. He thought about the three. He won't take it. They'll turn it over. Stager. He'll get it back to De La Cruz. De La Cruz will set the offense. Stager. Over in the over at Casper College. 16-6 your score. Little Snake River over KC in that second semifinal. And Hunter Thompson finding the scoring column finally. Actually, he's got 4, excuse me, as he got the fadeaway jumper in his big office that we talked about. Coleman being hawked by De La Cruz, still by Thompson. Rivers had numbers, but he pulls it back out, feeds De La Cruz. Cruz over to Stager. Stager back to De La Cruz. He'll drive, jump stop, kick out. Looking inside, ball's taken away to Spain. Long baseball pass down to Coleman. Coleman can't, lost it momentarily, but they'll get the score. 16-12, 6:35 left in the second period.
Correction, 33, Tanner Coleman.
Coleman. De La Cruz looking inside for Thompson. Thompson will get double team. He'll turn, spin, jump shot, and he's good.
Basket by number 10, Hunter Thompson.
Thompson, 2 for 3 on the night. 3 for 3 actually, 6 points. De La Cruz, he'll pick it off and he'll throw it off of Winland and save the possession. Very heads up play by De La Cruz. Over in 1A, Burlington knocks off Guernsey Sunrise in the first semifinal, so they will play for the state championship against either Little Snake River or KC. We're back to action here. Gross, they'll get it back to Warner. Warner over to Rivers. They've got Thompson down low. De La Cruz will take the 3, no good. Despain will pull the ball out there and he'll bring it back the other way for Rocky. Nice spin by Despain, nice dish to Winland and he'll score. Nice little spin move by Despain. Rivers almost fouled, get it over to De La Cruz. De La Cruz will feed Thompson. Thompson, he'll drive, put up the jumper. Can't get that one to go. Rivers with the board, he'll kick back out to De La Cruz. And De La Cruz is just gonna get knocked over. Joey Jewell with the foul. Thompson, he's got a nice stroke for a big kid.
Number 4.
As Thompson will go to the bench.
There's a little bit of everything out there for him as well.
He does. Stager put up the shot, good. Stager just came in for Thompson. And his replacement will get the score. 20-14, 5:09 left in the second period. Coleman, he'll drive baseline, put up the right-hander again, and he gets that one to fall. Rolls around.
Basket by number 33, Tanner Coleman.
So back and forth scoring here. Dangerous cross-court pass. And Jewell not happy with that call, Joel.
I think our crowd mic had it pretty well covered.
Hey, just run box.
As they're going to run box. De La Cruz.
Hey.
Foul on number 10, Joey Jewell, his second.
Okay, run box now.
Team foul number 5.
Go.
Rivers, he'll handle the point duties. He'll drive. Right-hander, good.
Basket by number 5, Marquise Rivers.
Marquise Rivers.
Nice job just floating through the, through the paint.
He's a very long athlete. He's not real tall, but he's long. He covers a lot of ground. Coleman, he'll drive, put up the right-hander again. He'll leave that one short. Women will knock it around. De La Cruz fights for it. It'll come away to Gross. Werner will pull it out. Rivers thought about it. He'll drive instead. Dishes. Gross gets the ball stripped. De La Cruz, he'll feed Gross again. And it's good.
Number 21, Scott Gross.
And there's going to be a timeout on the floor. 4:03 left in the second quarter. Pine Bluffs 24, Rocky 16.
You know, Mike, I did not know a lot about this Pine Bluffs team, but there's a lot to like about them.
There is. They have a huge upside. They've got ball handling. They've got size. I don't understand how they came in. They've lost 10 games this year.
That is hard to believe unless, you know, meshing, you know, a group together with a freshman, you know, post and all that.
They handily handed Big Piney a loss yesterday, 75-59. And they're coming out of the East in the 3 seed. Both the number 1 seed and the 2 seed have lost. Rocky back to the ball now. Deep corner pass. Thompson will be back into the contest. As we see Cannon Simmons back in as well. Simmons, he'll take the deep 3 and he's no good. But the roll, his brother, Cole Simmons will pull the rebound out. Don't feed down low and Thompson will get the strip.
Interesting, the big guy actually took it away there defensively.
And he brought the ball up as well. Looking inside.
Well, he's presenting himself and they're not finding him. I mean, he is offering the target and they're still not finding him some of these times.
You know, and all that needs is just a quick lob pass over the defense, and he's big enough to go get it. De La Cruz is that. Despain will bring the ball back down. Despain thought about taking it, and he'll kick on over to Cole Simmons. Despain, Coleman. Simmons. Almost stripped there by Rivers. Simmons will take the deep 3, no good. And Rivers, Marquise Rivers, will pull that out of there.
It's probably, really a huge game for Rocky Mountain when you think about it. You know, in the shadow of Lovell for so many years, you know, a chance to, you know, have their own platform.
As we see, and what you mentioned earlier, Joel, is that they are trying to. Thompson is giving himself a good target, but they can't get the ball into him. As we're going to see substitutions, we'll see Gross back in for Pine Bluffs. Price and Winland back into the contest for Rocky Mountain. The Grizz and the Hornets. Simmons back to his brother.
I don't care for either when I'm camping.
And
that would have been a goal. Should have been a goaltend too.
He got there, but actually kind of helped that ball. Thompson, he'll cross the timeline, facing pressure, almost loses it. He'll get it down to Gross. Gross walked with it. Rivers. De La Cruz.
And what they should do sometimes with Thompson, he released the ball up high, and then he cuts, and they should find him because he's, you know, those strides, he's usually open.
Werner has already hit 2 of those today, but there's going to be foul on the floor. Winland will pick that up. I think they got him for pushing on Thompson.
Rocky Mountain foul number 22, Kirby Winland, his first, team foul number 6.
You see they had him wide open right there, but De La Cruz wanted to feed Gross. Screen action. Warner. No good. And they're going to get Gross with the over the back.
Yeah. See, one thing I'm seeing this year in basketball more than I have in a long time is a lot of teams are, you know, inbounding and going to a man-to-man defense on the inbound, and I find that surprising. You take a down low pick and quite often ends up being a layup.
Right. We always preach the 2-3 zone out of an out of bounds underneath your own rim. Simmons, he'll drive, spin move. He'll kick back out to his brother, Winland. Nice step through. He'll miss it.
Gross will pick up another foul. That will be his 3rd.
And You're right, Joel. As we get ready to see Coleman back into the contest for
number 21, Scott Gross, his
Rocky.
third. Team foul number 4.
And we will see Jeffries back into the contest for Pine Bluffs, his first action.
Number 33, Tanner Coleman, in for Pine Bluffs. Number 20, Kyle Steger.
Actually, that'll be Steger coming into the contest. Not many times, Joel, do you see your big kid get the offense or the defensive board and then bring the ball down. De La Cruz just kind of waits at half court for him to bring it across, and then he takes it.
If your big kid's Kevin Durant, I could see it.
And they've got Thompson all alone down there. Can't get him the ball as Rocky's sagging in this.
It seems like in the hesitation, that's what's happening. As they do get him in there, but they hesitate to get it to him. They don't, they don't trust their first instinct to throw it.
And if Pine Bluff is able to pull this out, it's going to be interesting how the two bigs from Wyoming Indian handle Thompson. They haven't seen anybody that big this year.
Yeah. They're going to have a weight advantage. Well, Howell may not, but Williams would have a weight advantage.
Turnaround jumper, Winland, he leaves that short. De La Cruz, he'll get out quickly. Pulls it back. Rivers tries to feed the big man and left it too long.
Can you get Jonathan Allred and Chad Leemaster?
Kind of hard to do with a kid that big, but you need a Shaquille O'Neal to pull that ball in. 21 seconds left in this first half. 26-19 your score. Pine Bluffs on top. Winner of this advancing to the state title. Well, they'll match up with the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. And they're going to play for the last shot. Simmons over to Spain, back to Simmons. Looking for somebody to pick his dribble up. 2 seconds. They're not going to get a shot. They will. Long three, no good. Probably not the shot that they wanted. And Pine Bluffs will go into that break. Up 26-19 over Rocky Mountain. We'll be back here in about 8 minutes and we'll have some stats for you. 26-19 your score. Pine Bluffs on top.
Ladies and gentlemen, your halftime entertainment. Please welcome the Rocky Mountain High School cheer team.
Get up, make some noise! One, two, meet me outside.
Jump up, go crazy.
Where my beat drop.
I can be a freak. I can be a freak. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic weather, so I don't even bother.
No, she didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cheer team from Rocky Mountain High School. And a reminder, next Wednesday is the state spirit competition here at the Casper Event Center. All right, fans, it's now time for the Pizza Hut State Farm Shootout. We got our two contestants up here. Up first, we have Jonathan Allred from Rocky Mountain. He's going to shoot first a layup for a personal pan pizza. And now a free throw for a medium pizza. Oh, all right, three-point shot, large pizza. Oh, all right, now half court for a $100 State Farm Visa gift card. No, not quite. Hey, we got 2 for 4 though. He's got a personal and a large pizza. Jonathan Allred, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next we got Chad Leemaster from Burns. First, a layup for a personal pan pizza. All right. Now free throw, medium pizza. Oh. Three-point shot. Let's go for a large. Nope. All right, let's make up for it here. The half-court shot, $100 State Farm Visa gift card. A little short. All right, thanks, Chad Leemaster. Again, also thanks to Pizza Hut and State Farm for the halftime shootout.
Welcome back to the Casper Event Center. We're at the half, and the Pine Bluff Hornets holding a 7-point lead over the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies, 26-19 your score. We've got some halftime stats here for you. Here first for the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. They were led in scoring by Bill Despain with 6 points, 2 of 3 shooting from the 3-point stripe. Kirby Winland has 5.
Did somebody dunk a ball? That thing is still moving.
Well, it's the band, I think. That's really weird.
How did you back to your stats?
Okay.
I had to point that out to you, though.
Actually, Tanner Coleman, he had 6 as well. Cannon Simmons with 2 to round out the scoring. They shot 40% from the field, 25% from the 3-point stripe, and 50% from the free throw line. And the Pine Bluff Hornets, they were led in scoring by the big man, Hunter Thompson, with 8. Followed up by Trent Werner and Marquise Rivers, both with 6. Scott Gross with 4. And Kyle Steger with 2. They were 12 of 20, 60% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, and didn't shoot a free throw in that first half.
Remember, too, that Gross has 3 personal fouls in that first half as well. And that obviously could be a factor down the road.
Pine Bluff led 14-10 after 1 and outscored Rocky Mountain 12-9 in the second for this 26-19 lead. No lead changes, 1 tie as we get ready to get back to action here.
You know, Mike, as you get to these winners brackets games, you notice these teams that have scored so many points in the regular year, they're much lower scoring games in these games. And maybe the event center is part of it too.
Rivers, he'll start off, get it out to De La Cruz. Back to Rivers, looking inside. They got Gross back out to Werner, and he gets another one. Trent Warner, 3 for 4 for the 3-point line, 9 points.
Now their leading scorer.
Leads all scorers now. Winland inside, nice pass from Bill Despain.
That's a nice regather because his initial reaction was to shoot it. Didn't, then he comes back and shoots it. Quite often you do that, you don't make the shot.
29-21 your score, 7-15. Yeah, and you mentioned that maybe that might have been something that Grable could have utilized in their contest. Tracy had it down low a few times with rush shots. De La Cruz, he'll get the ball out on the far sideline there. The winner of this will take on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs.
You know, it's probably a game Grable will say, well, if we just would have done this or just would have done that.
Coulda, shoulda,
but that's the way it is, you know.
And there is Gross.
And there's your 10-point lead, too, at 31-21. Gross playing with the 3 fouls.
Well, get it on into Winland. Kirby Winland will spin in the lane. Kind of double pump there, left it short.
And there's no defensive points or anything for the big guy, but I certainly think he altered that shot.
He does. And that'll be interesting to see how teams will get into the lane in the paint on him. Gross
with the 3 personal fouls. That's dangerous, but it pays off.
Feeds back to De La Cruz. De La Cruz back to Rivers. He'll take the jumper. Kind of a weird, not really a jumper.
I don't think he used the pick right. He basically got where the pick was in the way for him, you know? Because as he came across the pick, it's like us where I'm sitting next to you, trying to shoot. We didn't really clear the pick.
And his shot, he really doesn't have a jump shot. It's more of a set, kind of a push. Backcourt pressure. And it'll be a jump ball situation. Arrow will go to Rocky Mountain.
I actually thought that was a travel first because he improved his position on the floor.
Right.
De La Cruz did. I would have probably called it a travel first, but.
And Jewel a little worse for the wear as he is going to have to come off the
I think
floor.
it's the second time we've seen that expression from him for a couple of reasons. One was a foul right in front of us, if you recall, in the first half.
I think you got a little bit of floor burn on that one. Maybe losing some skin there. They'll feed into Winland. Back out to Coleman, back to Winland. Winland will go inside.
Give Winland a lot of credit. Keep attacking the bigs, though.
And if you notice, Hunt Thompson does not try to block a lot of shots. He'll just stand straight up. Maybe if he jumps, keeps a straight up position, that'll change the trajectory of some of the shots that they do have. Feed inside the Rivers. Runner, no good, but there's Thompson. Offensive board, put back, and he's good.
Basket by number 10, Hunter Thompson.
33-23 your score, 5:45 left in the third. Simmons. He'll get it back to Coleman, or to Winland. Winland will turn it over. De La Cruz tries to get up and get it. Actually, he'll fight for it, almost get it back to Spain. And the ball will come out to Simmons. Simmons will come down, tries to feed inside. Gross with the steal. Quickly back the other way is Werner. Werner will drive. Layup, no good. It was blocked out of there. Gross will track it down.
Ever seen Australian rules football? It's a lot like that.
Werner for three. Brent Warner 4 for 5, 12 points, all coming from the three ball. And there's a timeout on the floor. Pine Bluffs 36, Rocky Mountain 23.
Thompson, by the way, did lead the Eastern block shots at 2.5 a game. You know, the big thing is Werner, who does not average double figures. I don't think he averages hardly many points at all, but he has exploded in this game with 12, 4 or 5 from the land of plenty.
All coming from the three ball, and he's been wide open with the exception of the one miss he did have. But he's been wide open on all of those three-point shots. I got two people in double figures now, Thompson with 10 and Werner with 12. Winland keeping Rocky Mountain in this with 9. They need to find some scoring other than Winland. Winland, like I said, he's challenging Thompson down low, but that's not going to go too well once Thompson starts figuring out his shot process. As we hear the Rocky Mountain Band, all 7 of them.
They do have conga drums. I like those.
Actually, there's probably about 10 or 12 in their contingency there.
They put the rock in Rocky Mountain.
And up at Casper College, 29-12. It's all Little Snake River up there. So it's looking like a Little Snake River Burlington affair in the state championship tomorrow.
Boy, the battle of the orange and black from the west.
Orange and black. And they faced off in the regional championship, and Burlington took that one. Burlington is just one solid team.
Who did you get in the girls' championship, by the way, in 1A?
Little Snake River and Burlington.
As well?
Yeah, they both played in. Burlington pulled out both regional championships.
Burlington boys, I think, were the prohibitive favorite in 1A boys.
They are.
In girls, that's a little bit more wide open.
And the only loss coming in a tournament to 3A Buffalo. Werner, he'll drive, stop, picks up his dribble, and he's going to get a double dribble call.
Well, picked up his dribble, but he thought he'd try it again.
Yeah.
He's picked it up and put it back down.
Well, and we're going to keep harping on this until they actually give it to him, but Thompson was wide open.
And that's a great safety valve. You toss it up there, and you're going to be able to be saved from doing that.
Simmons, the Spain back into the contest, or not the Spain, that's Joel back into the contest. They'll feed inside to Winland. Winland will get back to Simmons. Simmons steps on the ball, falls. Thompson will pull it out. Thompson looking for help. He'll get it back to Rivers. Rivers will feed inside to Gross. Gross thought that was his teammate, threw it right to Simmons.
Really badly to dribble a couple of different Rocky Mountain players. Wow, that was a throw. And it went in.
Just tossed that in, cuts that lead to 11, 36-25. 3:51 left in this third period. And two players go to the floor over here, Werner and Simmons. And Werner wants a foul call, as I think Simmons took him down. The Spain will come back into the contest. And for Pine Bluffs, we will see Thurin. And there's a Werner. That is knee brace. He was trying to fix it, and instead of fixing it, just tore it off and threw it into the stands. Kind of maybe his little rock star image right there.
In for Pine Bluffs,
Actually,
number 20, Kyle
it'd be the
Steiner.
other way. Sorry. Spain, top the key. Oh, nice move. He'll drive. Nice dish to Winland. That was a beautiful drive and dish, and Winland will get the score. 9-point lead now. And as me and Joel were talking earlier, Pine Bluffs has pretty much dominated this game, but the score does not indicate that. Should be a bigger lead. Inside there goes Gross. And he just muscles it up.
Number 21, Scott Gross.
Push that lead back to 11. 38-27, 3 minutes exactly. Shot over by Jewell. Oh, rims in and out. And Thompson with the board.
You know, Gross will be back next year too. He's a junior, so that's a nice 1-2 punch under the boards.
And they have Rivers
Steger's
is
a freshman.
Rivers is a senior.
Cole Simmons, his first.
Steger's a freshman. Gross is a junior.
Rivers is the only senior in their 12-man roster, actually.
De La Cruz is a sophomore.
So I think this team, I would have to say, might have a chance to do something next year.
Yeah.
They might have a chance to do something this year.
And we got a timeout on the floor. 32nd.
Timeout,
2:42 left in this
30
third
seconds,
period.
timeout.
38-27. Pine Bluffs on top of Rocky Mountain. And we'll update you from Casper College. 5:39 left in the third period. 29-14. Little Snake River over KC. Gabrielle Solari, leading scorer of 15 for Lady Snake River. And the winner of this will move on to the championship tomorrow. And they'll wait the #1 team in the state, the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. And a 5-second call.
You know, talking to the Pine Bluffs broadcasters about this team, says they're just getting better each game, you know, so they have a bunch of losses, but it says the last 7 games they've really taken off, you know. And maybe that's a sign because they are such a young team, and I mean really, really a young team.
Yeah. You know, and if you want to hit your stride, what a better place than the semifinals and the state championship to hit your stride. And the ball's turned back over as Simmons takes it off to Spain. Spin move. Kick over to Jewell. To Spain. He'll drive, put up the right-hander, and he's good.
You know, they average 54.7 points a game, and they will lose only 5.6 points a game with graduation.
Wow. Thompson is going to back in. He's just going to muscle his way in. Nice spin move baseline. Puts it up and it's good.
But that's a nice move because he had him leaning the one way, and there are those
The prom dresses.
Yeah,
that just kills me. Simmons. Actually, Coleman. Over to Simmons, back to Coleman. Over to Jewell. Jewell will take the shot. And there's Gross. Another board.
And he does a nice job on the boards as well.
That'll be Gross's 6th board of the night. 8 points, 6 boards. He's 4 for 5
Rocky
from the
Mountain
field.
foul number 32, Cole Simmons.
You got him for what, did you say?
Second,
8?
team foul number 2.
He averages 8.7 on the year.
So he's got 3 fouls.
And
Well, he's
Thompson
been playing.
9.2.
He's been playing with those 3 fouls for a good portion of this first half and this third quarter.
The one thing, you know, it's kind of interesting if Pine Bluffs were to win this game is see 2 teams that have not seen each other. I've always found that somewhat fascinating, you know.
And 2 teams that match up pretty well.
In for Pine Bluffs, number 30.
However,
Kyle
I would
Jeffries.
say maybe and maybe not. The reason being that Pine Bluffs has not seen the Chiefs play, and that's always, I thought, if you notice when they used to play level, say 4 times a year, and the Chiefs would maybe dominate the early games, the level kept, you know, getting better against that press.
Right. And that press no matter what team you have, no matter how good of a guards you have, can and will create havoc. 106 left in the third period. 40-29 your score, all Pine Bluffs. Back to Rivers. Rivers thought about it. Instead, he'll feed inside. Back out to Werner. Werner will drive, and he's going to travel with it. Actually, he's going to pick up a foul.
He got bailed there because he was traveling.
Now foul's going to go on Horrocks.
Rocky Mountain foul number 20, Caleb Horrocks, his first.
Horrocks.
Team foul number 3.
As Kevin Coyle, PA announcer for tonight. I'll get it back to Rivers. Werner, Thompson. Thompson faces spin move, pump fake, right-hander, no good.
He's got a lot of different looks out of that, post.
Simmons with a nice crossover layup, and he's good.
Basket by number 30, Cannon Simmons.
Cuts that lead back to 9. 30 seconds left. Rivers will cross the timeline. He's got Thompson wide open, and they don't see him. Instead, they turn the ball over. Simmons with an opportunity to cut this lead to 7, and can't do it, but there's Despain with the board.
Basket by number 11, Bill Despain.
15 seconds left. Rivers drives, and he'll pick up the foul on Simmons. And the look of disbelief on Simmons' face.
Spain has had a nice game, kind of under the radar. Kept them in the ball game in that first quarter when I think they were down 10-2, I believe.
Two threes and a two-pointer. He's got 10 on the night.
And for Rocky Mountain, number 10, Joey Jewell.
Wendland still the leading scorer with 11. Werner and Thompson sharing the scoring leader duties. Thompson has a top key, 8 seconds. He's gonna have to do something with it. Nice give and go. They'll kick back over. Shot put up by Stager, and he'll not knock it down. And the full court.
Your score after 3 quarters. Pine Bluffs 40, Rocky Mountain.
So after 3, Pine Bluffs 40, Rocky Mountain 33. We'll be back after a short break.
In for Pine Bluffs, number 21, Scott Gross. In for Rocky Mountain, number 30, Cannon Simmons.
Well, he caused it. That's the problem. How do you let that go? Even though it's accidental, you can't let it go. Back here for the start of the third quarter. Pine Bluffs will start out with the ball. 1 quarter away to see who faces Wyoming Indian for the state title tomorrow night. And that game will probably get started roughly around 8 o'clock, 7:30.
Very roughly.
Very roughly. Sometimes those games don't get started until
you
really late.
Well, you got the trophy presentations, among other things, between the games.
Thompson, fadeaway jumper.
I think Winland might have got a hand on that.
He did. Rocky trying to cut into this lead. Winland puts it up, can't get it to fall, but he'll draw the foul. And who are they going to give this on? It's going to go to Rivers. And that's really the first time I've seen Thompson try to block a shot.
Pine Bluffs foul number 5, Marquise Rivers. His
And Rocky Mountain just hanging around.
Shooting 2, Kirby Winland.
So Winland will go to line. His first one is up, and it's good. 6-point lead.
Of course, Winland, a long-known name up in the Level Rocky Mountain area.
Exactly.
Got, in fact, an assistant coach, Winland, on this team.
No, that was short. But the offensive board comes down to Simmons. Still feed back to Spain to Simmons. Simmons thought about the 3. He's going to give to Winland. Winland shot's blocked. Joel has it. No good. Winland offensive board. Kicks back over to Simmons. Simmons shot up and good.
It's weird how you can sometimes block a shot And the worst thing ends up happening to you, like a 3 at the other end.
And they want a timeout. Will Gray wants to talk it over as this lead has been cut from 11 to 3. 40-37. Still a lot of time left in this fourth period. And like you said, this lead should have been a lot bigger for Pine Bluffs, and Rocky Mountain just keeps hanging around, finding ways to make plays. And they have been crashing the offensive boards. They've got 8 offensive boards, second chance points, they have 5.
Well, that last effort was like a power play in hockey, the way they kept it down in that zone as they were hitting the boards.
They've got 16 points off of 17 turnovers by the Hornets. As we resume action, Warner will take it out on the far sideline. He'll get into De La Cruz. De La Cruz runs himself into a trap in the corner, but he'll get out. Rivers, awful feed to Thompson. Made him come out all the way and save it. They'll give it back to him.
Yeah, we talked about the start of the third quarter. How about this next basket? You're either going to be ahead, or it's going to be, by 5 or so, or it's going to be super tight. You're ahead by 5.
Warner got the runner to go.
Well, he's had a huge game.
Jewell over to Coleman. Coleman for a 3. Cuts that lead to 2. And we got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 42-40. 6:20 left. And the Spain is going to, they're going to get Rivers for the travel. That could have gone to Bill Despain as he swiped up. And Rocky Mountain lost all the momentum here in the fourth quarter.
Awful lot of time, 6:20 to go in this one.
Jewell back over to Despain. Despain's going to take the 3, way off, but he's going to get his own board. He'll drive, put up the runner, and he gets it to go. We're all tied up.
That's what I was going to say, amazing. It doesn't seem like it should be tied, but it is.
Yeah. And Simmons is going to pick up a blocking foul, and that might have hurt Werner.
Yeah, away from the ball.
And I've noticed that Simmons has done that. That's about the third time he's done that. What he's doing is he's waiting for the opposing team to come down, and he's stationing himself and waiting for one of them to run into him, trying to do the old Bobby Knight, pick up a cheap foul. Thompson goes to work. Instead of taking the shot, he tries to feed Gross, and that's knocked out of bounds.
They were lucky to get it back because that pass was just too hard.
Yeah. And you can't pass that deep inside with somebody standing between you. Thompson needs to take the shot, and as he gets older, he'll figure that out. As they get it into Gross, and it's knocked away again. Seems like they're trying to get the ball into Gross a little bit more in the paint than they are Thompson. I'll get into Gross. He'll take the jumper, and he's good.
Basket by number 21, Scott
Gross, he's down to double figures now with 10. Ball is tipped. Fortunately, he went to Winland. Despain, he'll drive. His shot is blocked. That's Gross's 4th.
Interesting, Winland had a pretty golden opportunity. Didn't sense that Thompson was there, but he wasn't. And, gave the ball back outside.
Pine Bluffs foul number 21, Scott Gross, his 4th. Team foul number 3.
Those fourth foul coming with 5:38 left in the fourth quarter. They're just going to leave him in there. As Despain knocks down his first. Despain on the night, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. 2 of 4. Now 3 of 5 as a team, or 4 of 6, excuse me. And surprisingly or not, Pine Bluffs has not shot a free throw in this contest. De La Cruz maybe showing a little bit of that youth that we spoke about. He turns the ball over.
And from the facial expressions, Pine Bluff showing some frustration out there.
And Rocky with an opportunity to take their first lead of this contest. Despain for 3. Yeah! And the Rocky Mountain faithful are doing it now. Rocky Mountain 47, Pine Bluffs 44. They'll get it back over to Stager. Stager drives. Rivers and Pine Bluffs looks a little shell-shocked right here. They are unsteady in what they're trying to do. Rivers, he'll drive, put up the no good, but there's Thompson. He can't get it to go. Point blank shot, not good. Spain. Will he pull it again? No, he'll feed. Joel all alone for three, no good. Gross will pull it out of there and he'll be fouled. We see Thompson shaking his head right now. Pine Bluffs is shell-shocked.
And showing some signs of frustration, no doubt.
Kirby Winland, his second, team foul number 6.
De La Cruz, he'll go in the backcourt. Maybe again, like I mentioned, maybe some of that youth.
It was about this time that the Chiefs came from behind in the game previous, if you recall.
Right there, fourth quarter. Rivers will cross the timeline. 3-point deficit for Pine Bluffs. And they're going to get Simmons. Cole Simmons with this one. Cannon Simmons picking up his fouls earlier. So Cannon Simmons with 4, Cole Simmons with 3.
Team foul number 7.
Only foul trouble for Rocky Mountain. Scott Gross for Pine Bluffs. That's all. One other player from Pine Bluffs with a foul, and that's Werner. Actually, no, Rivers is 2. 17 fouls total, 13 for Rocky Mountain. Gross will shoot. Oh, he knew that was off. Body language told it so.
It's crazy there, but 13 fouls against Rocky Mountain, but that is the first foul shot.
Yeah.
That just almost doesn't jive.
So 4:15 left. Timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout. Pine Bluffs, actually Rocky 47, Pine Bluffs 44. We're looking at some of the stats here. Field goal percentage in favor of Pine Bluffs at 54%. Actually, three-point shooting in favor of Pine Bluffs at 57%, but yet they face a 3-point deficit. Werner shooting 80% from the three-point line. And a huge stat right there, 18 points off of turnovers. 18 points off of 18 turnovers. Over to Simmons. Simmons will pull it. Oh, can't get it to go, but Thompson tips it in. They'll give the shot to Simmons, but Thompson is the one that actually got up there.
And it might have been 2 players combined, possibly, you know, for Pine Bluffs.
5-point lead. There's Werner for 3. No good. And Thompson knocks it out of bounds. Actually, it'll stay with Pine Bluffs. Let's see if the Pine Bluffs Hornets can answer. Gross inside, and he'll get it. Cuts that lead to 3. 49-46 your score. Rocky on top.
You know, each possession magnified in this ball game.
Pine Bluffs needs to dig down deep and get a stop here. Spain, he thought about it. Said he'll pull the jumper, and he gets it to go.
Well, it wasn't falling away. He was fading away to one side.
De La Cruz. Is there an answer from Pine Bluffs? De La Cruz looking inside. They'll feed Thompson. Thompson spins baseline, loses it momentarily. He'll get it. Shot no good, but he'll draw the foul.
You know, I give him credit for sticking with it like he was.
And that'll come with experience, and like I said, adding a little bit of weight. Once he adds a little bit of weight, he'll be able just to muscle that up.
Foul number 22, Kirby Winland, his 3rd, team foul number 8.
As we see the
At the line for Pine Bluffs, number 10, Hunter
Washington
Thompson.
Chiefs are about ready to clear out here. Maybe go get their team some food and get prepared for a state championship tomorrow as Thompson steps to the line, knocks it down.
That's one thing about Casper. There's not a lot of places that are open late.
No,
Out of here when you get right down to it for a city of this size.
Well, that's the same thing for Gillette. I remember when we were coaching out at the Upton tournament, when we brought the kids back to Gillette, and they were all closed on a Friday night around 10:30. Thompson knocks down that one. 3-point lead still, 51-48. Under 3 minutes now. Despain drives, puts up the shot, but he'll draw the foul on Thompson.
That's a tough call either way, because he kind of led with his arm to make space, and you've seen that call both ways.
Foul number 10, Hunter Thompson, his first.
That's only Thompson's first. Like I said, 8 total team fouls.
Bill Despain.
Despain, shots up. Looks good. Despain wanted the official to watch something that Rivers was doing. I think Rivers was talking to him on the free throw line. Second one is up and it's good. Back to a 5-point lead. Rivers, top of the key. Back to De La Cruz. Werner, he's capable of hitting the three, but not from there. De La Cruz looking inside for Gross. He'll drive, put up the jumper, no good, but he'll draw the foul. Lots of whistles now, Joel.
Picking up, obviously.
Over at Casper College, it is all Little Snake River. 7:26 left in that contest, 39-26.
33, Tanner Coleman, his first. Team foul number 9.
De La Cruz first shot up, and it's an air ball. Didn't even draw iron. That look says it all. 11-point lead evaporated just like that. And if Rocky can hold on, they'll face the Chiefs again, who they faced twice this year, 3 times this year. One in the regional semifinal.
I'm not so sure they faced them 3 times because they're in different quadrants. Are you sure it's the 3rd time, not the 2nd?
I'm pretty sure it's
Interesting, because they're in the Southwest, or the Northwest and Southwest, but we can take a look at it.
Yeah. Well, either way, they're familiar foes. Despain kicks it and decides he's going to run down and fake an attempt. Rivers gets it into Thompson in the forecourt. Hands back to Rivers. Rivers will step on the line and turn it over. And you see a fired up Michael Simmons on the Rocky Mountain bench. Simmons, Cannon Simmons, back over to Cole Simmons, back to Despain. 1:58 left in this contest. Rocky Mountain with a 3-point lead. Give a go to Despain. Despain tries to drive. He'll get cut off, but they'll get it back to Simmons. Simmons, he'll drive. Kick back out to Women, and they're going to run some clock here. Simmons down low, and they're going to get a foul call on Rivers. Rivers' 3rd personal.
I'm not too sure if that looked more like a foul than it was a foul.
Yeah, it just looked like he slid. Didn't make any contact, but the official was anticipating the call rather than making the call.
By the way, the Chiefs have played Rocky Mountain twice this year, winning by 15 the last time and 25 the first time.
Simmons. Back to Winland. He'll go work against Gross. Gross has got 4. Back out to Simmons. Simmons will go to work against Rivers. 1:23 left, and there's a timeout. Michael Simmons wants to talk it over. 1:22 left, 53-48 your score.
Well, now the tables have turned in the 4th quarter of both the 2A semis.
And it's been one team leading for a majority of the 2.5, 3 quarters. And then the team that comes out on top, well, for the first game, this game's not over yet, obviously, but both teams have fought back, taken leads, and been able to hold them thus far. As the band gets fired up, Rocky Mountain faithful all standing. The Pine Bluff faithful right behind us, kind of in shock, as they had dreams of a state championship are going out the wayside right now unless they can pull out something here. Maybe a three-point shot by Werner, maybe a dish down to the big guy, Gross or Thompson, but they need to figure out something, and they need to figure out something quick. So it'll be Despain. He'll get it on the far sidelines. They're gonna run a set play. They'll get it back to Cole Simmons. He'll hand that to Despain. Despain with the ball. He'll go to work against Steger, and they're gonna get an offensive foul. Bill Despain, and he doesn't like the call, but it's a good call. He led with that shoulder, and he pushed off. So with 1:15 left, Pine Bluffs with an opportunity to cut into this lead. And Thompson wants the ball. He's calling for it, but they're going in the opposite direction.
They seem quite right-handed in their offense.
Yeah. Rivers thought about the three. He'll kick back out. There's Werner, and he gets it to go. Brent Werner. That'll give him 17 on the night, 5 of 7 from the three-point stripe. And he's got all 5 of the threes for Pine Bluffs as they're 5 of 9. Cuts that lead to 2, and it's not over, ladies and gentlemen. 54.9 left. Can Rocky Mountain hold on, or will Pine Bluffs advance? Either way, they're going to face the number 1 ranked Wyoming Indian Chiefs tomorrow. Roughly 8 o'clock. And it's tense on both sides. The Pine Bluffs faithful pretty quiet behind us, Joel. They're all sitting down. Rocky Mountain, a little bit more boisterous crowd over there. And they'll get it in the backcourt. Simmons will go to work on Rivers. Rivers trying to cut him off, and he will. They'll get it back to Despain. He'll go to work on Steger. Cole Simmons, Coleman. And Rivers finally draws the foul. That'll send Cannon Simmons to the, oh no, it won't. The next one will send him into the bonus. Despain will get it into Simmons, and there'll be another foul, so that'll send Simmons, Cannon Simmons to the line for a 1-and-1. Simmons on the night from the free throw stripe. Actually, he hasn't gone to the free throw stripe tonight, so this will be his first attempt. Trying to add to this 2-point lead. 38.9 left. 53-51 your score. Simmons taking his time. He steps, eyes and fires. No good. Pine Bluffs with an opportunity to tie it or take the lead. Thompson will bring it down. He'll feed De La Cruz. Werner, the three-point specialist. De La Cruz tries to drive. Gets it down to Gross. Gross pump fake, and he's fouled. Great pump fake by Gross to get the defender in the air.
Seemed like he almost lost the ball on the jump, but got it back.
Rocky Mountain foul number 22, Kirby.
He was holding his hand there, so let's see if that's going to
shooting 2 for Pine Bluffs.
alter his shot at all. Garrelson steps to the line. 2 big foul shots coming up. First one's up, and it's good. 1-point lead. Garrelson steps to the line for his second. And it's good.
Well, it's kind of like a pro bowler the way he leaned into it, you know.
That extra body language, that extra body English got it, and we're tied up here, ladies and gentlemen. 24.6 left. Rocky Mountain had the lead. Pine Bluffs comes down on a Trent Werner 3. Knocks it down. They get the ball. They get the stop. Comes back down the other way. Gross is able to get the ball down low. Pump fake shot, no good, but they send him to the line, and he tied it up. As Joel Kendall's going through his mountains of stats.
Info, man.
Info, that's what it is. Michael Milsey and Joel Kindle here with you. Thank you for joining us. And we've had two very good ball games. This one's going to come down to the wire. We're either going to end this in regulation or we're going to go to overtime. And the Pine Bluff faithful, they're fired up now, ladies and gentlemen. Rocky Mountain, they're faithful up and cheering as well. Both teams in the bonus. The next foul, actually no, regular bonus for Pine Bluffs, a double bonus for Rocky Mountain. So we're going to play it out here. Simmons, top of the key, he picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. Tries to get it back, and they're going to get a timeout. Timeout before the 5-second call.
Timeout, Rocky Mountain.
And it's 8.9 left. Rocky Mountain with the timeout.
Full timeout.
And that was close, Joel. So with 8.9 left, we're either going to go to OT or one of the teams, Rocky Mountain, is going to have an opportunity to pull this out. And we see the Wyoming Indian Chiefs at the other side of the court, trying to figure out who they're going to be playing tomorrow. Werner trying to get some crowd participation, trying to fire this crowd up. Will this ball go to Despain, or will this ball go to Winland? Despain has it on the near sidelines. He'll get it front court to Winland. Back to Despain. 6 seconds left. They'll get it over to Simmons. He'll drive. Put up the shot. No good. Rebound. No good. And the shot's blocked. And we're going to overtime. We are going to OT. Rocky Mountain with 3 opportunities to win it. And the last shot was blocked out of there, so we're going to have extra time, ladies and gentlemen. Additional basketball. So we'll give you some additional basketball here. 53-53. They're going to put 4 more minutes up on the scoreboard. Pine Bluffs fighting back. Down 5 in that last period after leading most of the way by 11. Giving up a 5-point lead. Desperation was starting to set in. Trent Werner comes down and knocks down a huge 3. He's 5 of 7. He's got all 5 3 balls for the Pine Bluffs Hornets. And then Scott Gross knocks down 2 free throws, and we stand here tied up. Winland will actually win the tip. Rocky Mountain will get the ball to start this fourth period. Actually, this overtime period. They'll get it over in the corner. Out to Simmons. Back over to his brother, Cole Simmons. Back to Coleman. Coleman thought about it. He'll get Despain. Despain pump fake. He'll drive. Dish over to Simmons. Simmons puts it up, and he's good.
Basketball number 30, Kevin Simmons.
Nice fade by Simmons as he, was in the Big Trees territory and then fell back and made the basket.
They'll feed down low to Gross. He's got it all alone. He'll put it up, and he's good.
Basketball number 21, Scott Gross.
Craig Ferris probably doesn't mind this at all.
No, he doesn't.
A tired squad facing his Chiefs tomorrow.
Deep corner to Spain. He'll drive baseline. Feed to Winland. Winland will put it up, and it's good.
Basketball number 22, Kirby Winland.
Back and forth scoring here, Joel. 57-55, 2:54 left in this overtime period. Werner, he's dangerous from out there. They're going to try to feed down Thompson. They will. He'll get double teamed. Turnaround right-hander, no good. Rocky with an opportunity to go up by 5 or 4. Winland faces up. They'll kick back out. Simmons. To Spain. Winland. Coleman thought about it. He won't take it. He'll drive instead. Gets it in the lane and he'll draw the foul. Coleman with a huge drive, and he hasn't scored tonight. Actually, he has. He's got 9. And that's going to do it for Gross. Gross picked up his 5th foul.
I thought it was Simmons is what it looked like with the grazing on the elbow is what I thought.
That's what I thought, but nonetheless, Scott Gross will lead this contest with 16 points, 8 rebounds, but the main number, our main stat, 5 fouls. And that's a huge loss for Pine Bluffs. And they're going to give him 2 free throws. I don't know what the discussion was about that, but
well, the double bonus would continue through, you know.
Well, I think they got him on the shot as well. So it would have been 2 free throws regardless. And he knocks down the first. 3-point lead for Rocky Mountain. Can they close it out in OT? Eisen fires the second, and he's got 4-point lead. Werner, he'll have it. He'll go to work on Simmons. Tosses him over. He'll kick over to Stager. Top of the key. Burn over to Werner. They're trying to feed inside of the big man. De La Cruz will drive. Lose it. Werner for 3. No good. Rebound fought for, and Despain will pull it out. And that will send Bill Despain to the line.
Spain 4 of 4 from the free throw line so far with 21 points and 13 rebounds in the game. That's not a big player either to have 13 rebounds.
Shooting 1 in the bonus for Rocky Mountain, number 11.
Only 1 foul. So Bill Despain steps to the line. No good. Thompson will pull it out. Big man will pull it, bring it down himself. He'll drive. Kick back out to De La Cruz. Over to Werner. Stager. Stager looks to drive. Almost picked off. Luckily it gets back. Stager will feed the big man. He'll lose it. It'll stay Pine Bluffs ball. Thompson's having a heck of a time down there when he gets the ball down there low. Either he's not handling it correctly or they're knocking it away from him.
And they're being physical with him as part of their plan, I'm sure.
Stager. They're running my out of bounds play. The drive third. Puts it up and it's good. Touchdown lead to 2. 1:20 left. 59-57 your score. Almost stripped inside, but they'll get it back out. Coleman. Coleman will take the 3. No good. And there's Winland. He can't get it to fall. Rebound comes out of there to De La Cruz, and it'll be Pine Bluffs ball. De La Cruz won the foul. He won't get it. And nonetheless, Pine Bluffs still alive. Opportunity to tie it up here, where it looked like Rocky would go up by 6. 2 missed free throws, and Werner will have it. Werner will get it. And oh, that might, from this angle, that looked like that was Austin Thompson.
But nobody's arguing the point or anything, so.
De La Cruz will get it. Look for help, he'll get Thompson. Thompson will drive, puts up the jumper, no good. I thought Thompson might have been able to get to the glass if he would have kept going. Rocky Mountain with an opportunity to add to this lead. Simmons, and they're gonna trap him, it's stolen! Warner has it. He's going to drive, put up the lane, and it's gone.
Boy, just blindsided him.
And we're back tied, 59-59, 27 seconds left. Could we go to double overtime? Simmons drives baseline. He'll put up the shot. Oh, and he'll draw the call or the block foul. That could have gone either way, Toll.
Yeah, tough call against Thurin there.
Either way, that'll send Cole Simmons to the line. He hasn't been there all night.
His first, team foul number 10.
De La Cruz?
Shooting 2 for Rocky Mountain.
That doesn't sound right. I
No,
thought
that
for sure.
Thurin took that call. Thurin, he took that charge. Well, non-charge. He took the block. It was 25. Steps to the line. He's short. So either way, he knocks this down. Pine Bluff still has an opportunity to win it. Simmons, that first shot's in his mind now. Steps to the line. No good. Rebound, Pine Bluff ball. Gets the ball into Werner. Werner, he'll bring it up. And there's a timeout on the floor, 9.3 left. Could be going to overtime, double overtime.
Full timeout.
So it looked like Rocky Mountain was going to salt this one away at the free throw line. Two huge misses at the line. Pine Bluff is able to get the ball and come down and score, and then Werner with the heads-up play comes and strips him backside, gets it, drives down, puts up the layup, and we're all tied up here. Pine Bluffs now with an opportunity to win it, 9.3 left, whereas Rocky Mountain had an opportunity to win it in regulation. Also,
it's certainly going to be heartbreaking for whichever team does come up short here.
So who do they go to? Do they go to Werner? Or do they go to the big man? Gross on the bench with 5 fouls, and you can just see the frustration on his face as he's over there just praying for a miracle that he gets to play another game. De La Cruz.
One thing about high school teams, they're not great at clock management in these situations.
And they'll get it into the big man. He'll go to work against Winland. He'll get the, almost a block charge. We'll get it out. De La Cruz. Well, and we're going to go into double overtime. So 4 more minutes and we're going to settle this one.
Your
59 your score.
Pine Bluffs 59.
So both teams scoring 6 in that overtime period. Into regulation, it was 53 all, 59 all here with another overtime coming up. And like you mentioned, Joel, Craig Ferris has got to be eating this up. What can Pine Bluffs do without their second leading scorer on the bench with 5 fouls? And you know what's funny is Rivers has fouled out.
Fouled out earlier, yes.
I was wondering why he was on the bench, but now he fouled out as well. So on the court, it's going to be Townsend, Steger, Werner, Thurin, and De La Cruz. Despain, Winland, Simmons, and Coleman on the court.
You look at that lineup, 2 players have scored 33 points. The other 2 have scored a total of 4, the other 3. So you know their offense has been shrunk somewhat.
Werner has it over in the corner. He's going to feed down low. Thompson almost lost it. Werner for 3. He's going to leave it short. Despain has it. Back to Simmons. Simmons will feed to Spain. Back to Despain. He thought about it. He'll drive instead. Put up the right-hander. No good. Rebound fought for. Despain pulls it out of there. And they're going to get Despain looking over the back call. And he better be careful, Joel. He's really John right there, and that's going to send, I believe, Thurin to the line. Yeah, they're pointing at 25. Actually, no, it's going to be Stager. Stager hasn't attempted a free throw tonight at all.
They've not attempted a lot as a team, only 4 of 6.
He eyes and fires the first, and he's good. Wouldn't it be nice if these games were sudden death, first one scorers? But either way, Stager will get another one, and he gets that one to fall. Pine Bluffs on top. 61-59, 3:24 left.
Little different, too, when you're playing from behind instead of ahead. We'll see how Rocky Mountain handles this.
Swing pass over to Simmons. They'll get into Winland. Winland will face up. I thought he was going to take it. He almost throws it out of bounds.
He had a 15-footer if he wanted it.
Simmons will drive. He'll dish. Winland has it. Can't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line. Cole Winland, 2 of 4 on the strike tonight. And he had the 2 big misses that allowed Werner to come down and knock down the 3. So he'll get an opportunity to tie this up. Eyes and fires, and he's good. 61-60, trying to make it 61 all again. If you like classic basketball games, ladies and gentlemen, this is your game. That's good. We're all tied up again.
Those are pressure makes.
2 huge makes by him, 2 by Stager earlier as well.
Well, you'd have to like Rocky Mountain's odds just because they've got a whole team left, whereas they've lost a couple of players on, Pine Bluffs as they throw the ball away.
And that De La Cruz, that's his 3rd turnover. Same area that he's done that in. Women will drive, and he'll get it to go.
It's kind of a finger roll. You don't see that at the high school level a lot.
You don't. De La Cruz, and he's going to be stripped by Despain. Despain will pull it out. He'll feed down to Jewel, and Jewel will pick up the foul. Oh, actually, no. That foul will go on Werner, so Jewel will be able to step to the line to try to add to this lead. And Joel, it's just been back and forth. One team makes a short run of 4 points. The other team will come back with a little run of 6. Joel steps to the line, no good.
That was his first free throw attempt of the evening.
And I think he might have injured that elbow the way he's been shaking it around. Second one's up, no good. Thompson with the board.
No team able to close the door on the other team.
No, and it's come down to free throws, actually. The free throws for Rocky Mountain have left the door wide open. De La Cruz, he's looking, can't find anybody. Stager for 3, he's gone!
His first 3-point attempt of the game.
And Pine Bluffs back up on top. Despain with the short jumper, he leaves it short. Thurin with the board. De La Cruz, backcourt. He better give it up. And he loses it. Up to Coleman. Coleman all alone, and he'll score. De La Cruz, golden opportunity to get the ball up. He wants to dribble it all the way up and was stripped from the back. So with 1:40 left, Rocky on top, 65-64. And Joel, as I mentioned, De La Cruz, prime opportunity. He had 2 players up ahead. Didn't get the ball up. Instead gets the turnover, and now Rocky with a 1-point lead.
Neither team found the prosperity.
No. So we'll see how this one plays out. 1:40 left. We're already in the second of 2 overtimes. And the look from Thompson says it all. He comes out with a deep breath and shaking his head like he's tired. Stager's first shot of the night. Actually, he's 2 of 3. But that, none
His
bigger.
first three-pointer, however.
What will Pine Bluffs do with the pressure from Rocky? They'll give it to Werner. He'll cross the timeline. He'll go to work against Simmons. They'll feed into Thompson. Thompson looking for help. He'll back it out. He'll spin baseline. Nothing there. He'll put up the shot instead. No good. And Rocky with an opportunity to add to this lead. Spain looked like he wanted to take that three. He doesn't. They'll kick back out to Jewell. To Spain. Winland. 1:10 left. Almost try to come from the back. Werner again for that strip. And Rocky, they're going to just hold this. Why? They don't need to score. That's a good opportunity. Just move this ball around. And there's a foul. Barron will foul Coleman. And Coleman on the night, 2 of 2.
I just made his 2 recently. What it does do that will define what Pine Bluffs has to do, because do they need a 3 or do they need a 2? It's like this will define where they are in this ball game.
And he gets it to fall. Nerves of steel. Coleman trying to stretch this lead up to 3. And it's short, but there's the rebound by Jewell. He puts it in. 4-point lead. Thompson didn't box out, and it cost them. And there's a ball on the ground. It'll come out of there, go to Spain. Up ahead, Simmons. He'll feed it over to Jewell, and it's good. 6-point lead for the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. Stager will come across. He'll feed to Werner. Werner tries to feed it. Picked off by Winland. Despain has it. Up to Simmons. And it was 16.5.
And I think what you've seen, Mike, too, what happens when one team has their entire starting lineup out there and the other is missing 2 major ingredients in their lineup.
Right.
Pine Bluffs foul number 20, Kyle Stender, his first.
And that'll send Simmons to the line. He's 0 of 1 on the night.
And even one free throw pretty much shuts the door if it's not already shut.
Eisen fires. It's no good. So the winner of this, and it looks like it's going to be Rocky Mountain, will move on and face the Wyoming Indian Chiefs tomorrow night for the state title. And it looks like Pine Bluffs is going to fall down into the 3rd and 4th place game tomorrow versus Grable. And there's a timeout on the floor, 10.5 left, 7-point lead. And it looks like the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies are going to move on. Over in the Casper College, it's final over there. KC made a late run, but Little Snake River comes away with a 9-point lead, or 9-point win, 51-43, so it's all over there.
That's 8, Mike, by the way.
What's that?
That's an 8-point win.
Or 8-point win, excuse me. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to give you a little bit of a rib tickler there on that one.
Yeah, you're paying me back for my earlier one. So it's going to be Rocky Mountain and Wyoming Indian for the title tomorrow. Rocky has lost 2 contests to Wyoming Indian throughout the year. The first one was a 25-point defeat.
And a 15-point one last weekend.
15-point defeat at the regional tournament last weekend.
Rocky Mountain had to play to stay alive in that tournament, remember? This week they're playing, next week they'll be playing for the state championship.
And Pine Bluffs, that's all they can do is hope that there's a miracle in their pocket someplace.
Well, you better get it in because you don't.
It's tipped away by Jewell. So it's pretty much all over Thompson. He'll drive and he'll lose it. ball on the floor.
You know, and Rocky just got every loose ball at the end of this ball game.
You know, it can't be said, nothing said for hustle, as both teams have hustled all night. But as you mentioned earlier, Joel, when you've got Rivers and Gross on the bench, you're not going to win many ball games.
Yeah, well, once your point guard does is your 4, who's a heavy-duty rebounder and scorer.
Right. And the first one's no good. Coleman will step to the line. No good as well. Long desperation shot, and it's all over. Rocky Mountain will move on.
You know, two teams that they thought probably would not be playing in a semifinal put on a heck of a show in one.
Yeah, it was a double overtime thriller. And like you said, it's heartbreaking to see one team losing it, but we'll give you some quick stats here, and then we're going to sign off for the night. We'll be back tomorrow morning, but first for the Pine Bluff Hornets, they were led in scoring by Trent Werner with 19. He was 5 of 9 from the three-point line.
What a gutty, gritty game he played.
He did. Gross had 16. Thompson, the big man, 14, and rounding out scoring was Sager with 7. Rivers with 6. Third with 2. And for Rocky Mountain, they were led in scoring by Bill Despain with 21. Kirby Winland with 20. Coleman with 14. Simmons with 10. Jewell with 6.